This AI revolution is not like any revolution it ever was in the past. All the other revolutions gave workers tools to do their job more efficient. So for example, if you was a taxi driver, you was given a GPS system. That GPS system allowed taxi drivers to be more efficient because they was able to get people to their destination a lot faster, and taxi companies was able to be more profitable because of that, right? Now, this AI revolution, what it does is it takes away the driver, which is the taxi driver, which is the worker, and it also takes away the GPS system, and it introduced self-driving vehicles. Now, this is extremely important because we are in a time where a lot of college graduates is suffering because they are not able to get into the workforce. And if we have college graduates suffering, then that's just trickling down to everybody else, right? All right, let me continue because we had a Bloomberg survey come out, and it wanted to show a few things. The first thing it showed was home energy costs, right? 50% of Americans say that it's going to be a bad idea to talk about implementing these data centers all around the country because energy will go up. Now, these data centers run 24/7 and they burn a lot of electricity. But what people are not also telling you is they absorb a lot of water because they overheat a lot as well. So they're going to need a lot of water. So electricity is going to go up, and also your water bill is going to go up as well. That's why 50% of Americans say this is going to be a bad idea. Quality of life, 40% says it's not going to be good for the quality of life. And I agree with that because if your electricity goes up, if you can't get water, then how is that good for your quality of life, right? Now, it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to get our water because it's going to be scarce. So I believe water is going to be scarce. So if you haven't already been doing so, stack up on water and also stack up on canned goods as well because I think it's going to get bad, y'all. The government is not really pushing that type of written law saying that these companies have to try to make it work or these companies have to pay the cost, right? So that's another problem. Now, all these data centers is big AI machines, like they produce and create AI. Okay, so for those who don't know, right? And how much would it cost the communities? You know, like it's already going to cost communities, American people, their high electricity bill and high water bill. But what if these data centers do not work out? How much is it going to cost Americans in the long run? And that's something that is not talked about. Okay, let's move on. All right. So the Reagan National Economic Forum also did a survey, and 24% of Americans say they are optimistic about AI and the future of AI, right? 51% is concerned because they say it's going to cause a bigger issue. Like, it's definitely going to cause a bigger issue. I mean, it's going to be a ripple effect. It's going to be a time where we don't get to choose what job we want. It's going to be a time where if you're not a nurse, if you're not a construction worker, a plumber, or electrician, then you're just going to be jobless. A lot of jobs is not hiring, and some jobs is even firing because they have to make room or they're trying to make room for these AI data centers, right? So to build these AI data centers and infrastructure buildings across this beautiful country is probably going to cost about $1 trillion, right? So they're not going to take a loss. What they are going to do is they're going to get rid of headcount, meaning they are going to fire people and not hire as many people to fill these job positions. And that creates people having to do double and triple work because they are not hiring as many people, right? You're working twice as hard and you're only getting one paycheck. And this is what's happening around the country because they are saving money and investing into these data centers. Now, they're not going to pull back and stop giving investors dividends. That's why I said it's important to invest in the stock market because these companies is still going to make a lot of money, and we see that now. Like these companies, the stock market is continuing to run. These companies is having unbelievable profits, man. Like they are just their profits is going through the roof, and we're in a situation where the economy is not doing so good, but these companies is doing really, really good. Now, everybody's talking about this K-shaped economy. What is a K-shaped economy? All right, well, K-shaped economy is the companies are going up, right? So the rich is getting richer, and everybody else, the middle class and the lower class, is declining. Now, I say that because it's a true fact. From 1980 until now, the middle class have declined about 10%. That is a huge number when we're talking about millions of people that is was in middle class is not in middle class right now, right? So that's a big number. Housing also went up and is continued to appreciate. Now we heard Trump a little while ago saying that he don't mind if houses appreciate the way it's doing. In fact, he wants houses to continue to appreciate. This is why the average home buyer is in their 40s because the younger generation cannot afford it, right? So if you have the younger generation not affording housing, you also have the younger generation not being able to get jobs. What is going to happen to the America that we know, right? The America that basically is bred off of young entrepreneurs, right? And people who have a dream. That dream is getting cut, and this is what's happening in real time. Now, some politicians floated the idea of taxing AI and not taxing humans, right? Now, even you even had Trump say that he is all for not taxing Americans, right? Now, other companies have kind of piggybacked off of that by saying they want to tax the AI agents. This is why they want to tax AI agents because if they do not tax AI agents, then when the workers are not no longer needed, the government will lose billions of dollars a year annually in taxes. So they have to kind of make up that money. And how would they make up that money? By taxing AI agents, y'all. I need y'all to know what's going on. Workers are taxed in many ways: income tax, payroll tax, Social Security, medical, unemployment, right? Just to name a few taxes, right? Also have your state taxes as well that workers is taxed, right? So by taxing these AI agents, they eliminating a lot of things, right? They eliminated the medical tax. Why? Because AI agents don't need medical. AI agents don't need any type of benefits. If an AI agent get sick on the job, or lose a leg or a limb or whatever, like that's not going to happen, right? Because they are obviously robots, right? So this is also to cut costs, which will in return make the businesses a lot more money. So this is why they're doing it because it's a lot more profitable. Unfortunately, they think it's a lot more profitable to have an AI bot do the job than an actual human because they want to be able to cut costs in a lot of different areas. Now, we also heard the House Speaker, what's his name, Mike Johnson. He said they wanted to reduce medical and also Social Security, and that they are working on a plan no later than next year to do so. Well, this is also related and connected to Project 2025 as well. Just want to point that out there. Let's not forget about that, right? And so this is the plan this happening. Now the government could start giving AI agents wages as well. I mean, think about it. Why not? They already talking about taxing AI. These robots can run 24/7, y'all. That's the thing. Like humans cannot run 24/7, right? Like we as human workers, we need a break. We need to be able to sleep. Well, these robots, they can just keep going. And this is what these companies want, and that's why they are trying to pivot away from the actual human worker and start going into these bot workers. The government could start giving AI wages and programming AI to spend that money. And I say that because companies is kind of already doing that. They're kind of testing the waters. You got companies like Perplexity, Google, and a few other companies that is trying to allow consumers, or trying to allow AI agents to buy products for consumers. Well, this is because they want to learn the consumer behavior. They want the AI bot to learn the consumer behavior, so then they can in return have the AI bot take and spend money that they make, and they can also pay them very, very little, right? So if you're working 24/7, y'all, and you're getting paid maybe like $300 a week, right? And then you're using that $300 a week to only buy products, you can understand how they can stay in power and they don't need the human worker. Make it make sense? I think I just did.